for example, DeFi applications, which is decentralized finance. You have AI stuff popping up now. We have NFTs and privacy projects as well. And a lot of those were projects that I've been exposed to over the last couple of years. And, this is what makes for a great webinar today, the magic of AI. Specifically, the AI side of things is where we're obviously going to dive into because if not already, it's quite clear that AI is going to be part of our future, and it's here to stay. So, I'm looking forward to today's webinar. I hope you guys are as well. And yeah, we're going to go straight on and get into this. I would like to actually welcome, yes, our guest today, which is Chris.
Yeah, so my name is Chris Ogunsalu. Essentially, I am a innovator, entrepreneur, product manager. I have been basically in IT for probably about two decades at least. And I'll be talking a bit more about AI and about myself in the presentation. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. It's a pleasure. And for anybody else as well that would like to introduce themselves that are here on that's able to join us, then please feel free. You can have a moment to unmute yourself and introduce yourself as well.
Hi, my name is Sophia Lewis. I am a trainer, assessor, and project manager for adult education and learning. I'm really interested in to find out how I can use AI in my work.
Awesome. Lovely to have you, Cynthia. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Hi, my name is Dawn Grant. I'm the founder of Black Economics, and we are putting on this event today because AI is big news. Everyone's talking about AI, although it's actually been around for about 30 years. All of a sudden it's a big thing because it's got to the stage where people are worried it could take over the world. But in the meantime, before it does that, there might be things we can use it for. So I'm so glad that Chris and Tim are going to sort of guide us through this webinar today.
Yeah, welcome everybody. And we've had Claudette, I believe, just intro herself as well. She says she's an event stylist and alternative florist. So that's great. Well, welcome, Claudette, and lovely to have you. AI is this like Dawn just said, it's been around for a number of years, but it seems like now it's sort of taking off from a trend perspective. But I guess more so because of the advancements of AI. I know my first sort of exposure to AI was when I was invited out to Malta in 2018. I was at the first edition of the AI and blockchain summit. I went more specifically for the crypto side of things. And for those of you that don't know what crypto is, it's a digital currency, which is now being widely, integrated into every day. People are using digital currency to pay for goods and services, which is an interesting space as well. And I definitely encourage you guys to check out crypto. It's, and I believe, yeah, it's going to also be integrated into a lot more than what we just see now. But like I said, AI was, when I was first sort of exposed to that, I must be honest, it was back in 2018, for me, finding out about AI, I really didn't know the depths at which it would cut what it would come to. Really, it was my first sort of exposure. I remember seeing Sophia the robot there, and you got to sort of test out Sophia, and she was saying certain words and moving, and you just thought, wow, what is this? This is very futuristic. So yeah, as I was saying, the yeah, just today I was reading in the latest news updates with private markets about a new funding round that's happened, that Jeff Bezos and Nvidia have joined OpenAI to raise about 675 million for a new product which is about robotics, a company called Figure AI. So it just goes to show there's a lot more money being poured in, especially behind the scenes in private markets, because people are banking on this. I've used it. I am currently using it for some of my stuff as well. It makes the task just a lot more easier. But I won't make this all about me. Chris, when you're ready, please feel free to take it away.
myself, Chris Ogunsalu, as I said at the beginning, I have been in AI for probably about 2 decades now, all the way from being a young child, going into computing, to going to study a computer science degree, and so on and so forth. Today is really about AI. We've all got our own kind of like knowledge or basic information about AI. Today is basically me taking you through some of the tools that I use, how I use them, my workflow, how it helped me improve what I do generally. There is a lot we can cover today. We're not going to cover every single thing because I was speaking to Dawn earlier on today. There is thousands of tools. But today I'll be talking about some of the tools I use. And actually, I do believe that we've got somebody that I know quite well in the group today, from Lionx, which is a tool that I will be basically talking briefly about today. And I'll put a link in the chat later on today for that as well. I also have a book called A to Z of AI, and that is at the moment a short 30-minute audio book which talks about AI, the different types of AI, and some of the tools. It's not including every single tool. It's some of the tools that I basically use on a daily, the tools that really help with my productivity. And essentially, I'm also working on a ebook, which is a follow-up to that, which has over 1,000 tools. Believe it or not, there is 1,000 AI tools. We won't use all of them, but it's definitely good to know about some of the tools. And hopefully, if the sharing works, we'll have a few demos, or what I'll be doing is asking you guys to go on to the actual site and test it out for yourself, which is really good. Okay, so as I said, I'm an independent consultant. I also do mobile applications as well, because my background is actually web development and mobile application development, which I've been doing for years. I'm also a music entrepreneur. In other words, I produce music, I sell music as well. And at the same time, I'm also a parent of 2 kids. I have a boy and a girl. And if you want to catch my LinkedIn profile, you can obviously go to LinkedIn at Chris Ogunsalu. But before we go any further, right, help me out, guys. This is where you can help me out. So my first question to everybody in the audience is, in one word, describe how you feel currently about AI. And Dawn, if you can help me read out some of the messages that we get, so I don't get sidetracked. So this is for everybody. If you can describe in one word how you currently feel about AI, and also tell me about one tool that you're currently using. And also, one more thing is, what would you like to do with AI? I'm asking these questions so we get a good idea of the audience, who's doing what, how you feel about AI, and maybe there must be maybe some things that you potentially want to do with AI that we may discuss today.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
give people a few minutes, will we? We have Mon says she's a novice and she's keen to learn and apply. Lorraine says she's interested. Dawn saying she's used ChatGPT. Keep them coming.
So those that have joined us again, what we're asking, this is, call it an icebreaker. Give us one tool that you, and it doesn't matter if you don't know any about, and if you don't know any tools, just say you don't know any tools. It's great. If you don't know any, then it's obviously a great learning opportunity. So one tool that you've heard about that is an AI tool. Name one thing you would like to use AI for. If there is something that you'd like to use it for, let us know. It might be something that we can talk about today, or something that we actually take away. So Tim, at any point, remind me of some of the things that people have said. Oh, I would like to use AI to do X, Y, Z. If we don't cover it today, or if we haven't got a tool for it, back in the days, Tim, Dawn, when people just say, "Oh, there's an app for that."
Yeah.
Now we can say there's a tool, there's an AI tool for that, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I have to kind of laugh because there is so many tools out there.
Yeah.
That we can say, yeah, there's a tool for that. ChatGPT is not the only tool out there.
Yes. Yeah.
I personally use AI to multitask, just like yourself, Tim. We multitask effectively, enhancing our productivity because that's what it's about.
Yes.
A lot of people are afraid of it's going to take their jobs and all that. Guys, I wouldn't be afraid of that. If anything, it's all about enhancing your productivity, speeding it along, helping your business or helping yourself out in any way possible. Today, I think for me, it's more about you guys taking away a list of tools or getting to know that AI is not something to be afraid of, but knowing the potential of AI and the potential of the tools that are out there and what you can use. And more
Yeah.
importantly, then taking that information away and helping your friends and family and discussing with them and saying, oh, we heard about this tool and did you know about that? And we could use AI for this. That, there's so much productivity it can do with AI. It's crazy. People doing so many things with AI all the time. It basically can help you either in your personal life or your business, or even a side hustle. We're being taxed left, right, and center, but imagine having a side hustle. Tim, you talked about NFTs, you talked about crypto.
Yeah.
Imagine having side hustles and then having AI to actually help you. Again, Dawn, you mentioned this. AI has been around for years. I remember doing AI at Essex University, and this is probably about, God, I'm telling my age now, about 30 years ago. I remember being in a lecture and my lecturer telling me, yeah, you guys have to go and write a sheep program to hoard a set of sheeps into a pen. And I looked at him and saying, this guy's crazy. But now fast forward it and we talk about Elon Musk and what AI does with the autonomous cars. It all now rings a bell. This is 30 years ago, so it all rings a bell. Now what we have is AI has been literally, it's been catapulted in the last year or so. I think it was this time last year, I was speaking to a couple of friends of mine, guy called Bobby Cato and another guy called Nicholas, both who run a company called Agile Tech Services, who actually, we were all talking about AI, and within a year, the change and the amount of tools that's come out is crazy.
Yeah.
I personally use, and guys, don't worry about knowing and having links for this. I'll post some links throughout the conversation. And also, if for those that get the book, we'll also have, like I said, I've got a list of 1,000 tools, but there will be a list of all these tools in there. So don't worry about having to scribble it down. We'll have these list of tools. But I personally have to my arsenal right now. I use ChatGPT quite often. I use Otter, Lionx, and in video. I'll talk a bit about how to use them, and if the demos work, we'll kind of show you how to use them. I also use SlideMaker, Tome, Refusion, and 11 Labs for some audio. And I use this basically to produce everything from images, ebooks, slides, animations, voiceover, and do general business, creative art, marketing, you name it. I will basically use it to improve my productivity and to obviously improve my basically creativity whenever I'm using anything. Essentially, even to manage my day-to-day life as a product manager. As a product manager, I'm constantly writing user stories. I'm constantly writing articles, having to create videos. This is what I use AI for all the time. So I use it for all these sides. Now, a bit about the dark side, the good, the bad, the ugly, as they call it. Now, some people would say, oh God, it's going to take my jobs. It's going to take things away from me. Again, I would say, do not worry about this, because essentially there's two things. One, AI is there to improve your productivity, help your business in any way. I have a joke, not even a joke, but a serious comment. Imagine having 3 personal assistants to your beck and call 24 hours a day, maybe even 10. That's how I see AI. Now, yes, there are going to be things that we find mundane, they take a lot of time. This is where I say us using AI. This is where businesses will say, right, can we get AI to do it? So I think the way that I would ask you guys to look at AI is look at the positives rather than just the negatives, and find ways for yourself to kind of improve your productivity. Yes, I do believe if you do not know how to use AI by the end of 24, 25, So 2024, 2025, if you do not know how to use AI to your advantage, then you will be at a disadvantage. So take that how you want it. It doesn't mean that you're going to lose your job, but essentially it means that you might be at a disadvantage in your business. And by all means, ask the question, what's the disadvantage? It depends on your business. Somebody who's using AI may be able to do things much quicker. Now, from educational purposes, I know we've got people, I'm not sure if it was Sophie or somebody else said that they're using AI in education. Now, imagine being able to do your lectures and your lecture content at lightning speed. Imagine being able to correct and point out mistakes. Imagine being able to create images and slides for your presentations at lightning speed. You know, imagine students being able to, you know, get help through videos that you create on a subject matter at lightning speed. For example, I think Timothy, you mentioned something at the beginning about InVideo. And one of the AI tools that I actually use is InVideo, which allows you to create videos on subject matters within seconds. So
Yeah.
I could say, create me a video on the subject of NFTs and how it will change the music industry. And it would
Yeah.
create me a video of that within no time. I could say, create me a video of the human anatomy for a young 15-year-old just going to they're just going to do their GCSE exams. Make it simple, make it easy to use. These are all the kind of things that we could actually use. I was talking to Dawn last week, and I just mentioned about my son. My son's 14, and essentially he's already been asked to do speeches on AI. So I laughed at him and I said, you remember when you was 11, what I asked you to do? What I asked him to do is I said, right, enough of the PlayStation and the gaming time. What I'm going to ask you to do, if you want more gaming time, I need you to go and do some research. And I asked him, I set him a task. I said, right, go and do some research. Look at as many AI videos on YouTube as you like, and I want you to do me a report. And he came after like a day, and said, oh, Dad, I've looked at loads of reports and blah, blah, blah. And essentially, he did a little report. Now, it was 2 days this week. He had to do an actual presentation because last week they set them a task of doing a presentation on AI. So it just goes to show that the schools are already looking into, one, what does the AI mean to kids and how they can use it? And we already know that some of the kids are, you know, using AI at school to kind of do their research or their presentations. So, you know, if you've got younger kids, make them do that research on AI so they don't feel left out. And even as an adult, as an individual, it's important that we foster our knowledge, not just for ourselves, but for our kids and our friends and family, so they're up to speed of what AI can actually do for them. So in essence, do not fall behind. So again, just a quick kind of like, call it a shill. I've done a book on the A to Z of AI. It captures a few things. It's quite a short kind of audio book. The reason why I did that book is because I was just literally going through a minefield of, when I say hundreds of AI tools, I'm not joking. I was going through a minefield of AI tools, and I thought, okay, let me capture what these tools do, because I know people are going to say, oh, have we got an AI tool for this? Have we got AI? And I said, you know what? Let me capture this as an audio book so I can actually share it with people. So hence why I've got the A to Z of AI. There is a link to the in the chat for that book. It offers a comprehensive list of AI tools. Anybody that gets that book today or in the next couple of days that is from this chat today, I will also offer a 20-minute consultation on AI and how it can actually use their business. And I'm also working with company Agile Tech Solutions to help businesses actually devise solutions for their business. Now, this is for where you actually want specific AI tools that can actually leverage your business. I won't talk about that in detail, but for anybody who has that book, obviously I can give that 20-minute consultation for that. And then if it needs to be further explored, we can get the team from Agile Tech Solutions to actually look into that for you. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna just stop there for a second and open up to questions before we start looking at some tools. Yeah, I say that because there's a lot of slides, and then I want to go too much into just the slides. I think the gist of it is AI is not going anywhere. It is the future. There is loads of tools out there. It's very critical for us to embrace what we're doing with AI completely, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause for a second, give the audience a chance to just answer general questions, and then we're going to go into some tools. But just before we do that, these are some of the tools that I actually use. One of them I mentioned is ChatGPT. We know about ChatGPT, but you can do so much with it. Another tool that I use is Otter. I probably won't give a demo of Otter today, but I would say Otter is probably one of the tools that I use almost every single day. What does it do? It allows me to record a meeting, like we're in this meeting today. So it will record the meeting, it will transcribe the meeting, it will do a summary of the meeting. I can then send that to myself, plug it into ChatGPT, the text, and then I can ask ChatGPT to do me some action points or to actually do a detailed summary or do some analysis. So imagine now I have a product meeting and it's let's say it's about an education and what we're going to teach the kids, and we recorded that. I can then say, okay, can you write me a summary of all the tasks that we need to actually do from the meeting and give me some detail around it. Perplexity, I won't talk too much about it, but the question always comes, and you might hear this, oh, ChatGPT gives you lots of information, but it doesn't give you the references. Perplexity is the tool that I would use to essentially give me the references and the links to content of where it came from. So sometimes you find, okay, right, give me some information, you're writing, doing some research, but it doesn't tell you where the research is coming from. Perplexity is one of those tools that can give you that information and say, this is where the research came from. So in the essence of, even if you're in education, yeah, and a child uses stuff that is from ChatGPT, where's that information coming from? Something like Perplexity would actually help you define where that information is coming from. Gumroad, I wouldn't necessarily call it an AI tool, but it is a tool that I have for essentially selling my digital assets. So for me, the good thing about AI is I can now produce content like I was on steroids. To take it as it is, literally, I can produce content as is really quickly, which means I need now somehow to sell it. So Gumroad is what I'm actually using, but just to let you guys know, I'm actually working on a digital platform that I will be kind of telling you about maybe in another session, Dawn, which will help anybody sell their digital content. But for now, Gumroad is definitely a tool to use. You've heard about ChatGPT. Gemini, which was also called Bard, is the equivalent of the Google version. Now, I sometimes use them side by side. Now, I must admit, my two favorite tools are definitely, between ChatGPT, Lionx, Otter are my favorite tools. But I would say Gemini is becoming a favorite tool as well, because you can do just as much. And the good thing about Gemini is it pulls off real-time information from the web. Because a lot of the time, back in the days, if you use the first version of ChatGPT, you couldn't get the latest information, whereas Bard has the latest information. Let me just give you a classic example. So I'm into property. I'm a property entrepreneur. I've got a portfolio of 10 properties. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to do some research. And the research I wanted to do was, what are the best places to buy houses under £50,000 in the UK? So I put that into Bard, and it then looked it up for me and gave me all that information in a table. I asked it, give me that information in a table. If you did that on Google, normally, Google, you wouldn't get that information. With Bard, it will give you that information, the latest information, and in a table. I then did something else, which I used a combination of ChatGPT and Bard. And the conversation was I had a neighbor who I originally bought a property from. It was a 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom house. He owns the next door property to me. And he said, "Oh, Chris, you know what? I'm thinking about renting my property out. Are you going to be interested in it? Because I know you live next door." And I said, "You know what? I wouldn't mind. I would probably take it on as an Airbnb because you got 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms." He said to me, "Oh, Chris, you know what? Can you write me a proposal?" And I was like, "Oh God, a proposal. I have to write a proposal." But what did I do? I went to ChatGPT and I said, "Write me a proposal based on a 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom property that I could essentially take on from a landlord, presenting him with the rent that I would give him and the yearly rent that I would give him and the different options that I would actually use this property for, whether it's for Airbnb, short-term let, long-term let." I just typed that into ChatGPT and it gave me all that information. So imagine now how long I would have to take to write that information out, structure it, etc., etc. That's the type of thing that you could actually do with AI, fast track information. And notice what I'm talking about here is I'm talking about different industries. I'm talking about the property industry now. And this is what I did. I could actually also use any of these AI tools to say, right, can you write me an ad for a property that would go on Rightmove for a 3 bedroom house? And can you also add this picture to it? And it would actually do that. Those are the kind of things. So quick, going on to Tome and SlideMaker. So Tome.app is essentially a slide making platform. So imagine now, at some point, everybody has to do a presentation. The biggest thing about presentation, it takes you ages to do these presentations. You have to put information together. Sometimes you're lacking the information that you need. Well, Tome and SlideMaker, and we'll try and look at these in a second online. They will allow you to put anything in there and create slides in seconds. So for example, if I wanted to, I could go onto Tome and I go to SlideMaker. With SlideMaker's in ChatGPT, by the way, so another add-on. I could go there and I could say, create me a slide on, let's say, for example, let's use the A to Z of AI. I could say, create me a slide of the A to Z of AI and why it is important. And can you mention ChatGPT and SlideMaker and Perplexity and create a slide? It would do that. Education-wise, I could say, create me a slide deck that talks about biology and the important parts of the human body. I could do that. If I'm a fashion designer, I could say, right, okay, create me a pitch deck based on I'm creating a new fashion line of jewelry, watches, and dresses, and I need investment of XYZ. I'll give it a bit of information, and it would create these slides for me. I'm talking about within a couple of seconds. Try it yourself. We will try a little demo today, see if it works. Quickly on to Mixo and Durable. These sites will allow you to create essentially websites really quickly. Now, they are not always the best websites, but imagine you just want to create a quick one-page website on anything. You could go to Mixo and say, I want to create a website on fashion, and essentially I want people to contact me because I'm a dressmaker. You could actually tell Mixo or Durable that, even just give it that information, and it would create you a website based on that. With regards to animation and image creation, at some point in time, you are going to create images for either your business, your educational needs, or or anything you're doing. Definitely, I would say ChatGPT, Lionx also has the ability to create images on the fly just by you putting in that text. What is the image you want? Now, occasionally it doesn't produce what you want, and we'll see that. But with a little restructure, you can actually do that. Now, when it comes to animation and video, Runway is a tool that people are talking about, which allows you to not just create images, but it also allows you to do animations of that actual image. So you can go from image to video. So I'll pause there. Before we go on to some demos, anybody have any questions?
Yeah, we had Sophia asking if the slides include images.
So yes, they do sometimes create include images. So while we're here, let me see if I can actually.
And I guess on that note as well, we had Megan asking about the photos as well, if they are free to use or copyrighted. Where does it obtain the images basically for the
Right.
slides?
So that is a very good question. So in some cases, it will produce images that are not necessarily that they don't need to be copyrighted. But I would say, from experience, you need to be with AI. I would say you kind of need to be careful to a certain extent because even though the images seem to be copyright free, there's always going to be that point where you see an image and you think, okay, is this copyright free? But from what I remember, especially with Open AI, they have now said that some of the images that they use, you would not get sued if you actually use it. Now, don't take my word for that, but that's what they have actually said. But in most cases, I think people are using these images not just to sell, but to do loads of different things. I wouldn't say you don't have to be worried about it. I'd say be cautious, but I would say there's nothing wrong with actually using them.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
So I want somebody to, let's see how this, can you see my screen? Tone, can you see Tone?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So I want somebody to just give me something that they would like to create a slide from it. I want to see how this works.
Any of our audience, feel free. Forest, birds. Ooh, okay.
This is just off the top of my head. I don't know.
Forex. Somebody said Forex.
Oh,
So give me, okay, so let me just try this and see what, and I don't know what this can create, but we'll try it anyway just to see what happens.
Sure.
They always say don't do demos on the fly, but why not? We're using. Give me a presentation on the basics of Forex and how people can make money. Let's just try that. Okay, let me just correct my spelling because there's a spelling mistake there. Okay, it's doing something. Sometimes I never trust these presentations when you're doing them live, but who knows? Ooh. So look, can you see what's happening, guys?
Yep.
So imagine now you've got to do this presentation and you've got to do it tomorrow and you've got no idea where to start. And it's now hopefully creating a presentation. Let's see how many pages. I'm not sure which one you can see, Timothy, because I've gone from one screen to another. Tell me what you can see at the moment.
Yeah, so we can see the presentation. Well, yeah, it's nothing now. I think it's okay, so it's creating the presentation now. Forex and making money, that's what we see now.
Yeah, one thing that I would say, and it's obviously because we're actually live now, is sometimes what I find is essentially, so in this case, it's only created 2 slides for me
Mm-hmm.
because I have limited credit. So, but the point is here is I could create a slide on anything in a matter of seconds,
Yeah.
just on a new topic, right? So it doesn't matter what topic that I'm creating or using, it will create that slide. I'm going to see if I can create one more. And I want to see, I know I've got limited credit. Just on the point on, are these platforms free? They're not always free. Some of them will give you limited use.
Yeah.
So me try one other thing. So create a presentation on NFTs. And guys, what I would suggest as well, while I'm doing this, if you're at your computer, by all means, there you go. By all means, go online and try it yourself, because I've probably used this so many times that I'm probably literally running out of credit on some of the platforms. I'm going to go to another platform again in a second as well, just to test something out. But you can see what's going on in the sense that you can give an idea for a presentation, and then it would actually go and actually start producing the slides for you. In this case, it's gone ahead and actually produced more slides for me now. So you can see what's going on in the background. I said, right, give me a slide on NFTs. Just assume that I know nothing about NFTs, and then I want to do an introduction of NFTs to the group. And then within no time, it's created an intro, definition, ownership, authenticity. It gives me some background about NFTs. I'm going to do one more before I move from this tool and go to another tool. Generate with AI. And then I'm going to say, give me a presentation. Actually, no, give me a pitch deck on creating a new fashion brand. And let's see, obviously taking its time. It says it's going to give me an introduction, it's going to give me some market analysis, going to give me brand identity. Great, okay, fine. Let's go ahead and use that as a starting point. So just imagine I'm starting a new brand. I just want to get, do some sort of pitch or produce some sort of slides. I'm hoping it will give me some sort of indication of what it does. Can't see anything at the moment. That one seems to be a bit lost, so I'm not going to ponder too much about that one. But I think you guys get the gist of that particular tool. Normally quite fast. What I would say, guys, is go and try and use it yourself, and see what happens. I'm now going on to another tool that, before I go into that tool though, let me just do something. Right, I'm going to post a link. So I've posted a link to a tool called Lionx. Now, this particular tool, I love this tool. I'll try and go into as much detail as possible. The reason why I love this tool is because, like I said, there's hundreds of tools. There's ChatGPT, there's Tome, there's Runway, there's loads of tools. The problem I have with that is because somebody said at the beginning, are these tools free? Now, some of the tools are free, some of the tools are not. Now, even though Lionx is not necessarily free, it comes with some free credit. If you use the link that I've sent you, you guys should be able to sign up, get some free credit with that. You never know, I might be able to pull the director's arm and give you some more credit, but who knows? Maybe get them to speak later on today. But essentially, this tool is an all singing and dancing tool in a sense that it has a number of different elements that you would find with different AI tools. For example, one of the tools that you may create is like you might create a load of images. So I'm going to try, and hopefully this works. If it doesn't work, then I can blame the directors if it doesn't work. So I'm going to try something. So can somebody give me an idea of an image? Just simple. I just want to see what it does. It doesn't necessarily always produce the greatest image, as in not the tool, but it depends on what you prompt the tool to do. So, for example, let me, if in the meantime, Tim, you can ask people to give us an idea of an image that they want to create. If you just,
we just had one come through as a mermaid.
Sorry?
We just had one come through, mermaid.
Okay, right, all right. So let me try that.
And another one, Aki.
Yeah, hold on. Can you produce? Now you're trying to produce an image of a golden. How are we spelling mermaid? Because I can't spell. How you spell mermaid?
MER.
M-A, is that M-A?
MER. M.
M-E-R?
Yeah. A. Yeah. ID.
I-D. Right. And the funny thing is, the reason why I asked how you're spelling it as well, because I'll tell you something, when you put in spellings in AI, sometimes it recognizes it, sometimes it doesn't. So be careful about what you prompt. So let's say, can you produce an image of a mermaid underwater in 3D? Let's see what it does.
Mm.
Providing I got any credit, that is. And guys, please do try this yourself, because I may come up with some problems, but let's see if it works. Oh, there you go. So there you go. Can you produce an image of a golden mermaid underwater in 3D? That was a couple of seconds. So imagine now you've got so this one's going to be an interesting one, to make a jerk chicken image, right? Now, why would we do that? But I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Can we produce, can you produce, actually, I'm going to test it out. Can you produce an image? Get my spelling right. Produce an image of so American jack chicken. I thought it was jerk.
It is supposed to be jerk. J-E-R-K.
Yeah, jerk chicken. Yeah. On a plate. Yeah. How's that sound?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know about this one. I reckon I'll struggle on this one. Well, let's try. Let's try. Let's see what it's about. Okay. And I think when we do this type of image creation, guys, you've got to really open up your mind, because you could be marketing your own product, right?
Yeah.
Ah, look at that.
Oh,
That's not
wow.
too bad. That's not too bad, is it? So imagine now you are producing a jerk chicken sauce, right? And you wanted to create some marketing for that.
Mm.
You could actually, do this kind of thing and sort of create images. Now, don't get me wrong, you might go and take a photographer to do that. A photographer might cost you X amount of money, blah, 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 blah. But imagine you being able to create that image in no time, in seconds. Really, really great to do. So that is one tool that it has on there. Now, I'm going to try something else, which is AI Vision. So I'm going to see if this one works, because this tool I was quite intrigued by this particular tool. So so AI Vision, so let me just kind of tell you what it is. Let me just see what images I've got on here okay, let me take this, for example. Let me take this image. So essentially, AI Vision, imagine you've got a picture that you want to either recreate or do a different version of it, or you want to describe that image. Imagine being able to upload that picture and asking AI to describe that image. So I've just uploaded a picture, and then I'm going to say, describe this image to me. There's two reasons why I want to do that. One, because I want to see what it gives me. I might be trying to recreate a website, for example, and I can't describe it. I want to recreate it, but I can't describe it. Some key points here. You might be telling your web developer, this is what I want, you can't describe it in terms, right? You might want to recreate an image, but you don't know how to create that style. But you've got a style that you like. So imagine now, so look what it's given us. This image shows a graphic tablet with a stylish pen, with a person, blah, 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 blah. You can see it's described that image. So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to now do a bit of trickery and see if I can use this text. I'm going to copy this text, and then I'm going to go back to, let's say, AI image. Okay.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and recreate that with instead of having, so what we got here, the graphics table with a design, and I'm gonna put, I don't know if this one's gonna work, but I'm gonna put okay, Mr. C here, and then I'm gonna put, right, you gotta help me with my spellings again. How we spelling mermaid?
MERMAID.
ID, yeah.
Yep.
Right. Somebody said education,
Hmm.
right? I say that my spellings is never great because I was slightly dyslexic when I was younger, and I'm still slightly dyslexic. But one of the things that AI can do is obviously improve your grammar, improve your spelling. So imagine now you've got a report. You can put that report in and ask AI to correct your spellings, correct your grammar, correct your information, rewrite it. So I've put this now and I've changed it to being a mermaid. Let me see what else is in this text below, lettering below. So this image shows a graphic tablet of stuff. Now, this doesn't make a bit of sense at all. Yeah. All I've done is I've just copied what the other image does. I'm going to put it in here. I just want to see what it does. And then depending on what it gives me, I might then restyle it. Right. So, and I'm doing that because I want to see what it does from an AI point of view when I've taken one style and another. I'm not expecting it to do what I want, but let me see what it gives me,
Yeah.
and then I will then see if I need to recreate it. It's doing something in the background, I know. Oh God, that wasn't exactly right. Oh, that's the creepy mermaid. So now this is an example of it's tried to recreate it. It hasn't recreated what I want, right? It has done the mister, but it hasn't done the C. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because what I remember earlier on in the presentation, I said the AI may get it incorrect. So therefore, you have to go back and what we call reprompt your picture. So what I would have to do now is go and reprompt that picture. I'm not going to do it now, but that would be an example of what you would actually do. But even with this image, you can see what kind of crazy image it does. But that's an example of what I wanted to show you is one, InVision, right, would allow me to take a picture and get a description of that picture. This image shows a graphic tablet of a stylus pen with a person holding it. It's described that picture. Now, if I wanted to recreate this picture, I might then change this text to say, create an image with a stylus pen, 3D, Lionx, with a mermaid in it, blah, 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 and then recreate that picture. I think you guys get the gist there. So the other thing that I find interesting, I'm gonna switch to another tool, but the reason why I'm gonna do that is because again, I want to just emphasize this. There's so many tools, but the reason why I like Lionx because it also has that functionality. So I'm gonna switch to a tool called 11 Labs. Tell me, Tim, if you can see my screen.
Yep. We can, yeah.
So imagine now you want to create an audio book. The normal process of you creating an audio book would be, different type of things. So let's assume that I use AI to create me a book, which you can, and we can try that out. But then imagine now I want to narrate that book. I would, in the olden days, I would have to go to the studio and then get someone to record a voice and then narrate that book for me and spend a lot of money. But imagine now I can basically use tools like 11 Labs to actually narrate the book for me, providing obviously I give it the correct text and the information, it can give me that text for me. So I'm going to click play on something I've done before. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it doesn't really matter. It's the fact I want to tell you about the tool and what the tool does and how you can use it. So Tim, let me know if you can actually hear this. If you can't, it's not a big deal.
Sure.
The A to Z of AI. opens up your mind to the many
Yeah,
AI tools
can hear it.
currently available in today's market. The book also sheds light on some of the different types of AI and some of the amazing things anyone with just a smartphone or computer can do with the power of AI. The book is available in both audio and ebook format.
So imagine now, I've got my fantastic Chris Ogunsalu A to Z of AI. I need some marketing gumph. So how can I do this? I can do a couple of things. I can go on to Lionx, produce an image. So the actual book, the A to Z of AI, I actually used Lionx to create that book cover for me, right? Imagine now I take that and then I create a quick 30-second clip in 11 Labs. I can take that audio and then put it onto the image using any kind of tool like CapCut, for example, or Splice, whatever. And then within a couple of minutes, I've then got a marketing professional looking image and video that I can promote on Facebook or Instagram. So imagine you be able to do that for anything you like. So I'm going to try something else here. Let's see. So Tim, help me out here. Give me something that we might want to just say quickly. Remember my typing, my spelling is not great, so don't make it too difficult for me.
Sure. So let's say what could we say? The biggest football club in the world.
Hold on 1 second.
Football club in the world is Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they are going to win every trophy. Tim thinks that they will win, yes, every trophy.
That's funny, Tim.
Now, obviously, if I have loads of spelling mistakes, which I normally do, then obviously they will be there. But
Sure.
let's just play around and see what happens.
Let's try that.
Biggest football club in the world in Arsenal. Tim thinks that they will all the Cubs and league.
So obviously I've got some grammar mistakes in there. The biggest football club in the world
Mhm.
is, yeah.
Arsenal.
Tim thinks that they will win all the cups. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Tim thinks that they will win all the trophies. How are we spelling trophy?
Yeah,
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, trophy, yeah.
Right. Now, again, I'm making spelling mistakes, but there's a good reason for that as well. Because the thing about going back to what somebody said about, are these tools free? You get a certain amount of credits, yeah? For every time you, let's say you got a subscription, you get a certain amount of credits. So if you are really bad at spelling, right, you could run out of credits like me. But on some of the tools, you get endless credits. Some of the cool tools, you get a limited amount of credits. So in the A to Z of AI, I talk about all these tools. Majority of them, the ones that I've covered, do have what we call a freemium model where you get a certain amount of credits to use. So just bear that in mind. You can actually do a lot for free. Okay, so let me just.
The biggest football club in the world is Arsenal. Tim thinks that they will all the trophy.
Well, again, spelt something's wrong.
Yeah,
Tim
I
thinks
that they will win.
they,
Yeah, you put
right.
win instead of win. Thinks that they will, yeah, win.
Right. So think carefully again. You might think, oh, Chris is making a lot of mistakes, but think about it. If you went to a studio
Mhm.
and your voiceover person was making mistakes, which they will do, and they were reading over, how much money would it cost you? And the time it would cost you as well to actually do that. If you've ever been in a studio, you will know that actually
The biggest football club in the world is Arsenal. Tim thinks that they will win all the trophies.
Right. So now we've got an exact match. So there's a couple of things. One, I've managed to do voiceover. It doesn't matter how many times that I get my spellings right, I can recreate the audio script, which is what we're doing here. So you might think, okay, Chris is getting it wrong, but actually what I'm doing is revising the script. So when you revise the script, you now got something that is perfect. If you went in the studio, first of all, you'd have to get someone to write the script. Then you'd have to realize, oh, does it sound right, etc., etc. Now, 11 Labs is the greatest tool, but it's not cheap. It's not cheap, but they do give you a certain amount of credits. Now, I'm going to go back to Lionx.
Actually, I had one myself, to be honest. So the interesting thing about all these tools, right, is that they work at the ability of the information that you give them, right? So the more detail that you present to the AI tools, the better sort of closer match you're going to get, right?
So very good point. So the key thing is, so we're talking about one of the things that I had in my presentation, but I didn't want to show you too many slides, is the new jobs that are going to be generated. And one of the things that is not necessarily related to what you're saying, but actually is a new job style, is called prompt engineering.
Yeah.
To your point, Tim, it is all about how you prompt the tool to get the most out of what you're using it for.
Yeah.
Now, as I thought I'd run out of credits for the Lionx, but I want to give you an example of what I did earlier on here, so you can hear it.
The wise owl is the owl that has the vision to see and learn from the past, as well as see the future. In chapter 1, we discuss the future of NFTs, AI, and crypto.
So this again,
Wow.
I use Lionx to do that. Doesn't that sound real? Imagine
That's
that
impressive. Yeah.
I can do that, put that on Instagram. I don't have to go to ChatGPT, then go to another tool, then go to 11 Labs. I can do all of that in Lionx, which is why I say, okay, right, there's loads of tools, but it's sometimes great to have one tool that does a number of things that I want, whether I'm doing image, whether I'm doing voiceover, etc.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go now to ChatGPT, but this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to do something for me. So
We just had a question as well.
go for it.
Victor's asking, do the programs work in conjunction with one another?
So yes and no. So the way when we answer that question, so for example, with 11 Labs, right, it allows me to do voiceovers. With Lionx, I can do voiceovers, I can do image recognition, I can do image creation, I can do text to speech. There's a number of things that I can do. So in one sense, it all works together. However, if I wanted to do a video, right, with voiceover, right, with images, then it may not do that. I'd have to take bits of one and then add it to another, etc., 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 to do that. Yeah. So one of the tools that I want to show you a bit later is in video. If we have time, I'll show you that. But that hopefully would answer that question. But you can make them work together to a certain extent. So with ChatGPT, you can use some of the different GPTs to go from one to another to make them work together. So one of the things that everybody has to do at one point in time is a business plan, right? There's no way of getting away from it, right? If you've got business, you have to write a business plan. Somebody in the audience, can you ask maybe for a business plan? So somebody says, can we get a link to do video, please? Yep.
I believe they're asking for the in-video link.
Yep, I will. I'm going to get to that one in a second. So if you give me another couple of minutes, we'll get to that one in a second.
Sure.
Yeah. So let's say, for example, somebody in the audience, can you give me an idea or maybe a business plan you want to write?
What about an, yeah, we have a shop.
Okay, creating a shop. What type of shop?
What about an aesthetic shop?
Aesthetic.
Yes.
Aesthetic department, like a department store. Let's go for department store. Department store. Okay.
Art, fashion. Okay.
Department store selling fashion brands. Brands. Okay, please include. Yeah, I've got spelling mistakes, but in some cases it doesn't matter, but I will correct that one. Is that okay, Tim? Yeah, please act as a business
Yep, that's good.
please act as a business expert and give me a business plan. Yep.
Business plan, yep.
Blah, blah, blah. Right, okay, let's see what it does. So imagine now you got a shop you're going to open or a business. It's going to take you weeks to create your business plan. You've got ideas. You don't know who you're going to do it for, blah, blah, blah. It's just endless. Now, even though what it's giving me, I don't know if it's correct, but it's giving me information that I think, oh, this looks good. Vision to become the leading department store that offers a diverse, blah, blah, blah. Market research, the target market focus on fashion, forward consumer, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Legal financials, legal structure, product development, distribution, okay, customer service. So list goes on. It's giving me information. I'm going to just add, while it's doing that, include salary for, okay, post ideas. Okay, excellent. Give me include salary for CEO and director of 50K in the plan. I don't know how it's going to do this, but I'm going to see what it's going to do. Okay, so it's giving me some stuff to market, financial projections. Okay. Now, again, you can see it's giving me a breakdown. I can actually now revise this. Obviously, when you review your business plan, you know there's stuff missing, but you imagine how long it would take you to do this for any business. So imagine now, remember at the beginning, Tim, when I was talking about side hustles.
Yeah.
Imagine now you can create your own side hustle doing business plans in 2 minutes for anybody, especially if you're almost like a subject matter expert in that business.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to try one other thing in here, right, called slidemaker, right, slidemaker, right, and I'm going to say, give me an investment pitch deck for this new shop for investors. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's try it, right? Because what I'm trying to do now is incorporate creating a pitch deck now, right, for this new shop. So now you've done your business plan, but obviously you're not gonna present your business plan in its entirety with 20, 30 pages. What you're going to do is create a pitch deck. Now, obviously, we talked about tome earlier. You could have used that, but ChatGPT does have the option to actually create a slide deck as well. So I'm going to click on confirm. Again, may not work because I've actually used a lot of credits, but let's see what it gives me. So it's now sending me to another site to invest the pitch deck, blah, blah, blah. And it's given me this site to go to, right? Let's have a look now let's see if I can open this up. Let me know if my screen is changing to.
Yep, it's loading now.
So I don't want to speak too early, but let's see. I don't know what the content is going to be like, but again, let's see. But even if it doesn't work that well, the point is here is I'm using AI to improve my productivity. So I've gone from I need a business plan, right? And it's created that within seconds for me, right? And then I've now said I want a pitch deck,
Yeah.
right? So I can actually now show that to the business. So look what it's done, right? It's now creating me a business plan, sorry, a pitch deck that I can actually use now to present to potential investors. You got my unique selling point, blah, blah, blah. It's got my comprehensive strategy. It's got my market analysis. It's got my business model. I would then use this to pitch my business to whoever wants to get involved for X amount of money. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
that's awesome.
how much money would I have to pay for somebody to do that? How much time would I need to know? So you now understand the level of productivity that AI allows you. And I'm just picking from the audience. So this is why I say with AI, what we have the ability to do and what I'm now trying to do is consult with businesses and show them how you can use AI to improve your business. So don't see all these options when I use ChatGPT. I'm using 3.5. Now I'm using two things. One, the ChatGPT 4, and I'm using the paid for version, right? And I'm also experienced in prompting ChatGPT to do all of these different things. So again, this is consultancy that I can give to you guys on another session of actually how can you do it, because you're thinking, oh, how's Chris doing this, man? I don't see this. These features are there. These features are in ChatGPT. These features are in Lionx. They're all there. It's just the fact of having somebody to show you how you can do them for your business. Yeah, they're all there. So before I move on to the next one, is any questions on that so far? Because I want to just show the video piece as well. And that's Sophie. It's version 4 that you want to look at. It is there. And when you go to chat, first, in fact, when you go to ChatGPT, for example, right, let me just show you quickly if you can see my screen. You go to ChatGPT, and then you can do version 4, which is here. And then in my case, right, what I did is I did an @ sign and I did slide deck. Yeah. So I typed in slide deck, and because it knows that what I want, it then brought up the slide thing for me, which is what I actually used to create that slide. So let me just see. So I did slidemaker. So I did give me a pitch, give me an investment pitch deck for the new shop for investment, and then as a result, it then actually brought it up. So I can see prompt image. I can see prompt engineering would be a new, exactly. So prompt engineering is definitely a new career. People are doing it naturally at the moment. There are so many things that you can do with ChatGPT. It's got different GPTs that you can actually use. I also use ChatGPT for diagrams. So imagine now, in fact, you know what? Why not try this quickly? Let me just see if I can try this before I'm going to get onto the video, but let me try this. I want to see if it works.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Give me a organization. Let me try it from here. Organizational chart for a department store. I don't know how this is going to work, but this is a diagram maker. I'm still playing around with this tool. Imagine a diagram maker can do user flows, it can do organization charts, it can do uh, almost any sort of chart within reason. Again, it will depend on the prompt that you're giving it, right?
Yeah.
So some prompts might work well, but you would have to learn how to keep on prompting your AI tool to get exactly what you want out of the tool. So now it's given me like an example of an organization chart. I'm just making this a bit bigger so you can see it. You can see general manager, store manager, blah, blah, blah. You can see that, yeah, Tim?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
So imagine now, have you ever tried to create charts in flow diagram? It takes hours. You get it wrong, it takes hours. With something like this, you can actually do pretty quickly. I'm going to move on now to in video, right? But I'm going to press play on this particular video first. I don't know which one it is, but let me see if it's the one.
In the blink of an eye.
Right. So before I try this again, right, with you guys, I'm going to just press play on this video, right? As they say, this might have been one I created earlier, but I just want to press play on this one. It may be glitchy, but I'm going to try something else with you guys. While this is playing, just give me a second.
Artificial intelligence has catapulted from science fiction to a tangible reality, transforming the world around us with a relentless. Its influence.
Probably lagging a bit because of my network, but
undeniable and far-reaching, has seeped into every domain, from healthcare to entertainment, from commerce to communication. In the vast universe of AI, certain tools have emerged as game changers, revolutionizing the way we interact with technology. Among the front runners, we find Lionx by Agile Tech Solutions. An all-in-one AI tool, Lionx offers a comprehensive solution for businesses, providing everything from data analytics to predictive modeling. Next on the list, ChatGPT, a conversational AI that learns and adapts. It's not just a chatbot, it's an interactive, intelligent interface, capable of understanding and responding to user interactions in a human-like manner. Unveiling a new dimension in AI is Tome Dab, an AI-based tool that makes reading and learning a breeze.
So I'm just going to pause there, but essentially, imagine me just typing in something and say, oh, correct, create me a quick video about AI and some of the tools, and then it's literally created that within seconds with stock videos, voiceover, and everything integrated without me having to do anything. So I want to give this a try. I don't know how great it is, and it's going to be slow, but in the meantime, I think you guys, you can try this out yourselves as well. So Tim, give me something that we can maybe create a presentation for. Not too long, but give me something that I can type in.
The benefits of going to the gym, let's say.
Cool. So that's all we're gonna do. Let's do that. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but let's do that. This is on the fly. We haven't planned it. You know, it's me and Tim just bouncing off each other and say, right, let's try this, let's try that. But imagine now, this is your business and you're gonna try things. Just like we're trying things, you're gonna try things with AI.
Mm-hmm.
The average price of these tools vary. Each tool, you know, like for example, with InVideo, actually it's actually free to use, but they will put stock images on the video, and essentially to get rid of those stock images you then have to pay for that.
Yeah.
But in the background, what it will do is it's now going away and getting some information to put together for this particular video. Now, it may take a little while. It's come back and says what the industry for. So fitness enthusiastic, let's make it inspiring. It's going to go on YouTube. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll click on that. and then it's going away, and then it's doing some stuff in the background. While it does that, you know, we've discussed now we can create presentations with AI. We can do animations, we can do images, we can do voiceovers, we can do business plans. Going back to what I said, imagine now you have got free personal assistants to do anything you want for your business or for your professional life or for your kids. You imagine you want to help your kids with homework. I'm always helping my kids with homework. I'm terrible at maths, right? I mean, my English is not the greatest, but I can now use AI to help me help my children to understand certain things. And if I don't understand, I can even use AI to help me understand it as well. So each person, I mean, each person in this group should say to themselves, right, what do I want to do with it? So when I asked at the beginning of the session, what would be the things that you would want to do with AI? This is how we can help you, in the sense that once we understand what you want to do, whether it's your business, whether it's your professional life, or whether it's a task that you want to do, we can then direct you into what tools you want to use and how to use the tools and how to prompt the tools to get the information that you need. Yeah, which is why I say, you know what, and I'll give a little pitch now. Get the A to Z of AI. It has a list of all of these tools. There's short audio, the book itself, the physical book, or not the physical book, the ebook is coming out soon, and that will have over 1,000 tools that you can use for whatever you like. We haven't tested all of those, but we know about them. It'll be down to you to then say, okay, what tool does it work for me? The audio book is really me talking about some of the tools that I've used and I just love in my daily, you know, productivity toolkit. So this is why when I give this presentation to teams, it's more about the toolkit, right? The toolkit of what you need, right, to help yourself with AI. So now this is kind of finished in the background. So I don't know, Tim, what this is gonna do, right? But let's
have a look.
Wondered if the gym could be the missing piece in your fitness journey. Well, you're about to find out. Firstly, the gym provides a variety of equipment that targets different body parts, from treadmills to elliptical machines, from free weights to resistance bands. The gym offers a range of equipment designed to challenge every muscle in your body. You don't need to invest in expensive home equipment or worry about storage. It's all there, waiting for you. Secondly, the gym environment fosters motivation and commitment.
So I'm going to pause there because my internet is quite laggy, but you get the gist. So
it is impressive.
Couple of things. The stock images, the background stuff, you can get rid of that by just going to the subscription and you can pay for that. Interesting enough, I can edit this as well. So even though it's got the stuff there, I can change the script, right? So if I thought, oh God, that don't sound right, I could actually go and change the images that it uses, and I could actually edit the script. So it's actually produced an inline script. You can see here, guys, it's got a script, yeah, for each chapter. I can change the script how I like and then redo it again. So again, talking about so many things, talking about marketing of your own product, talking about a marketing of an educational course that you're doing. So for example, I could use this and say, right, create me a course video on the A to Z of AI and why it's so useful, blah, 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 blah. And then bam, I've got my marketing video that I'm now going to advertise. I can go to sleep and let Instagram do, or I could use Lionx or Sync Me, which is another tool, to then automatically post it on Instagram, right? So I can go to sleep and say, post this video at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock, bam, it's gone. Yeah. These are all the things that, imagine you got your free PAs. Your PAs are doing this, your virtual PAs. The AI team is doing this in the background. So in video is another tool. So I'm going to pause there because, guys, there is hundreds of tools that I could go through. I can go through more tools, but like I said, the A to Z of AI, the audio book, it's not long. And it doesn't cover every single tool. I'll tell you this now. I'm not trying to sell you something that is amazing, like amazing in the sense that it's got everything in there. No, it hasn't. It's got an idea of some of the key tools that we discussed today and some other tools that I use, right? But more importantly, if you get that, then what I'll be doing is basically you'll be getting when it's finished the ebook and a list that has many other tools that we're trying and testing. And like I said, I will also give, like, only for the people in this session, a 20-minute free consultancy of how you could probably use AI for yourself in your own business, because everybody in this group is going to have different reasons to use AI for different things, whether it's education, whether it's your fashion brand, whether it's for your meetings, whatever. I can listen to you and then understand what you're trying to do. Or if you said to me, "Oh, Chris, I'm a teacher, how can I use it?" Or, "Chris, I'm a fashion designer, how can I use it?" Or, "Chris, you know what? I just want to start my new business. How can I use it?" This is where I can come in. And then to a greater scale, you might say, "Well, actually, I want my own AI tool that does blah, 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 blah." Then that's where it's a bigger discussion, right? Because you might have a big company. You might say, "Okay, everybody in my company needs a form of Lionx in their company." So imagine now you may not want people to use ChatGPT because you think, "Oh, right, the information is not secure." Imagine now you can create your own form of Lionx or your own form of GPT in your company and call it whatever your company name is, and then you've got it out there. So these are the things that we can potentially do. So I'm going to pause there because I haven't stopped yet. So I hope that was kind of interesting for you guys. There's probably loads more that I could have gone through, but I didn't want to drown you guys with just loads and loads of tools and loads of chat. So I will open up the floor to discussion now.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Just a quick one as well.
Mhm.
Is that the people from the people in the audience, how do you see yourself using AI as well?
Yeah.
So if there's any questions that you have, now is a good time to ask the question and share it. If you're still scared, I hope you're not scared anymore. I hope we covered some tools, but we only covered a few. There's loads of tools.
Yeah, I know we had Leo earlier asking about an AI bot for Forex trading. I'm not sure what that would look like, but I know there's possibilities
Interesting,
there.
because one of the slides that I had, and the funny thing is, my wife asked me about it the other day. I had a slide on you can create chatbots and bots for Forex trading. You can create AI chat GPTs to give you the latest news on cryptocurrency. Like Tim, I'm sure you've seen cryptocurrencies going through the roof at the moment. Everybody's talking
Yes.
about crypto, Bitcoin. You can create all these tools. There's two. I see it in two ways. I think, and I'll answer the same way that I answered my wife. You can create a chatbot that does trading for you. One, you would have to give it your own key API keys, right?
Yes.
So, for example, if you are into crypto or Forex and you've got a Binance account or crypto account or Forex account, you'll have sort of API keys.
Yeah.
You would have to present those API keys to the chatbot, and then you'd have to then tell the chatbot what signals you want to use to buy and sell, your
Sure.
stop losses, your calls, etc., etc. So I would have to say, right, if GB pound is, let's say, 150 and euro is 80 pounds, do a buy, right? If it goes more than 10 pips up, do a sell automatically. So I'd have to probably do that, but I would have to hope that doesn't go mess up. So what I said to my wife is, what I would probably do is I would put limited amount of money in that trading account, let's say 100, 200 quid, and then I'll get my trading bot to just do that. I
Yeah.
haven't done that yet, but it's been on the back of my mind to work with some of the engineers to do that. So if that's something that people are interested in, then obviously let me know. But I try to kind of stay away from that in the sense that it's then doing financial stuff. It can be done. Yeah, it can be done with AI, but you'd have to be very, very careful.
Yep, absolutely. All right, what else? Yeah. Do feel free to ask questions, guys, in the audience. If you have any, feel free to unmute your mic as well.
I will use AI to basically save time and to generate ideas. At the moment, I use ChatGPT at work a lot, like creating reports and just to spell check stuff, and it saves a lot of time. But for example, seeing the image generator today and how that works, I create art as well. So I do enjoy doing physical art rather than digital art, but I feel like it will help me to generate ideas through that process and to see it and then to like map out my own images. So it's been very useful. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. I think Timmy talked about NFTs. I've been doing NFTs for probably about 3 years now. And generative art was one of the biggest things, and is one of the biggest things of selling NFTs. So you can actually create your own, catalog of generative art. I have one of the ladies in my other group. I don't think she's on this call, but basically she's created a whole range of generative art NFTs, and she's now created her pictures from there. She's created a clothing line that's got the generative art on there as well. There's so many things that she's now doing from just she had some initial consultation from me, and then she literally went into, how can I put it? She just went into overdrive into now saying, right, Chris, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. And it's inspiring to see now what she's done with the little information that she's taken away to actually now produce her own AI art and start a little art business as well.
Yeah.
Amazing. I wanted to know as well, with the AI thing that you use to generate a voiceover, is there ways that you could have variations of tonality or like gender, ethnicity, the voices that are matched, this kinds of things?
Very good question. So there's two things. So the first thing is with Lionx specifically and 11 Labs, what you can do is you can pick different voices. So obviously I picked a voice, you can pick a voice. But you know what? Guess what? You can actually clone your own voice as well. I didn't show you that today because I'm still messing around with that and it takes a bit of time to train it. So imagine now I've been speaking throughout this call. What I could do is I could get the audio, chop all my audio, just so it's just me talking, and I could feed that into Lionx or feed that into 11 Labs. 11 Labs will train itself on how I speak, my dialect, my tone, etc., how I pause, my excitement in my voice and my tones, etc. And then I could now give it a script and it would act as if it was me. It would actually, you wouldn't know the difference. On top of that, I could then take that voice and I could change it into Spanish. I could speak it into German. I could speak it into French. So imagine now you can use AI not only to clone your voice, but to clone your content and your audio into different languages. And this can all be done really, really quickly.
I think that's really amazing to think that you can clone your voice. Not that I'm sure I'd want someone else to sound like me, but the idea of it also coming out in a different language, Spanish, French, Swahili, would be most interesting. I think that's absolutely fantastic. I just want to give you an example of what happened with me today. I lecture part-time in a college, teaching young people business. And there was a task that was set in a class today that was supposed to take 45 minutes. Within 5 minutes, about 2 or 3 of them had done the task. You know why? They were using ChatGPT. It's amazing because the speed at which knowledge can now be gained, education has to try and shift to catch up, because now you're having to stretch the use much further than perhaps before. Now, as to whether they're actually reading and taking in everything, that's another matter, but the information produced was actually correct and actually way beyond their years, because you now have people who can hardly string 2 sentences together producing degree quality work. And there's a piece of software called Turnitin, which universities are using to check work which is submitted to make sure that it's not from ChatGPT, because then they get disqualified. So it's almost as if you have to teach in a different way, because you have to make sure that when students are finding work, that they're actually analysing it and putting it in their own words. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. I'll give you the good, the bad, the ugly. So the good thing is, obviously, like you said, there is an educational shift. Going back to what I was saying at the beginning with education, and if you don't know how to use AI, you're left behind, because organizations will now, as they learn more and more about AI, they will expect their employees to know it and to produce the work quicker. Now, what they also do expect is for you to be able to analyze that work. So you might produce it in AI, but you have to at least know what it's giving you. You can't just give it in. Now, we're talking about students. What I would expect now is for students to not just digest the work and then spit it out, is to be able to understand what the AI is giving them back. This is where they have to now do some work. They have to, it's like, for example, if you ask AI to write you an essay, blah, blah, you still have to read the essay. Whether you understand it or not, you still have to read it. So you're taking information now at lightning speed, because it's giving you the information. And remember, I was talking about the tool called Perplexity. Perplexity also gives you the links to where that information source is coming from. So this is one thing where students can't just give something in without saying, where did you get that information from? Even if it's from AI, what are the AI sources? So this is the one thing that I say to my students, guys, I haven't got a problem with you using AI. I want you to use AI. I want you to be able to have the speed of knowledge, but I want you to understand it and explain to me how it's been used. And on another note, on knowing whether or not something is done with AI or not, remember what we said at the beginning, Tim? There's a tool for that. There's also tools that allow you to put your information into AI and then check whether or not it is produced from AI, or to say, right, I want you to reproduce this information so it doesn't look like it's coming from AI. There are tools that actually do that. I think Copy AI is one of them. There's a few ones that I've got in the A to Z of AI, I think that talk about that. And in the list that I've got of hundreds of tools that will come with the ebook that I'm going to finish off in the next couple of weeks, that will have some of the other tools which you can use to say, right, I'm going to do this with AI, but I don't want my managers to know I've used AI, so I want you to change it. Which means that you still have to do some extra work, and then you have to reread it. But the anxiety of having to do that is taken away. Some people say it's a bit lazy, but you know what? It means that you're fast tracking your information, you're fast tracking your knowledge. There's always going to be things that people do not like about AI, but if you can work 10 times faster than your counterpart and your person in your business, who are you going to employ? The person who understands what the AI is giving and can work 10 times faster than the person who is not using AI, is taking longer, but is delivering the same information. And that's the reality. The reality is, oh no, but I want to be authentic. Okay, you can carry on being authentic, then somebody's going to produce 10 times more output than you. Yes, we have to watch plagiarism, right? That is a fact. But people are going to be using AI to fast track their businesses and come up with new businesses every day of the week. You know, I know a lot of us here, if not every, are from different cultures, different backgrounds. You know, how often have you seen a birthday card that hasn't got culture on it, right? You guys know what I mean. Imagine being able to start up a business that says, right, you know what, I'm going to produce some business cards and some Christmas cards and some birthday cards of different types with AI, and then start a whole different business. I could literally reel off hundreds of businesses and hundreds of side hustles that you guys could start today using AI, and it's definitely worth kind of just understanding AI, and then your mind will just be opened up to different types of things that you can do. I don't know. I hope that kind of answers your question, Dawn. I know I went into a bit of a tantrum there.
Yeah, Chris, there is a question there from Temi. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, this is about the restaurant and the types of images. So Temi, do you mind actually coming off mute for a second? If you could.
Yeah, she's off mute.
Temi, you still there? Can't hear her. So just going paraphrasing what Temi was saying is
Yeah, hi. Sorry.
oh, right, Temi. Is that correct spelling? Is it Temi?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so Temi, so help me to understand the food business. You want to use AI to actually produce images for your menu. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. So now I think you can definitely do that. So I think one of the there's two sides to this. So one of the things that Tim said at the beginning is I think somebody in the chat said jerk chicken, right?
I was the one that said that.
Right, yeah, there you go. And it kind of produced something that looked a bit like jerk chicken. Now, what you could also do is you could find an image that you've created already, right? And also upload that and say, give me some variations of this image.
Okay. Okay.
So imagine you've taken one picture of a piece of chicken or something from your menu. You could then vary with some nice prompts to say, right, this image, can you give me it on a plate or give me it on a menu or do this or do that? And you could vary and give me 10 different styles of this image. And then you could pick different styles. What you can also do, I haven't showed it in here. And what I would say is sometimes with AI, the text that you get on the image doesn't look like or say the text that you want.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember when I was using Lionx.
I saw that.
Yeah. So you might imagine, how did we get the Lionx on that image? So I was having a conversation with one of the directors from Lionx. How did you do that? And he said with some pain, right? And then what he said, he used InVision, right? And InVision is a tool on Lionx, by the way. And what he did is basically put the image in, ask for the description of that image, and then just varied that image with the text Lionx. So imagine, the reason why I'm saying this because you might have a menu option and you say menu jerk chicken, right? So you might want it to say jerk chicken, or you could just basically just add the text. To your point, you can. I'm not saying it's going to solve all your problems, but you can use AI to generate a range of different menu items for your restaurant. What type of food do you have?
I'm not a restaurant. How would say it? I'm a food delivery platform, just like Uber Eats, Deliveroo, and Just Eats.
Okay, right. So food huts.
So we have quite restaurants on our platform. But what are some of the things that when we onboard new restaurants and we ask them to provide an images or something like that, they just tell you, oh, listen, go to Just Eat or Deliveroo or Uber Eats, go and take my images from there. But we can't do that because of copyright.
Right.
So, and it's a bit of a pain when customer goes into the platform and they are looking at the profile, the restaurant profile, but they couldn't find image of the food. For example, I have customers who are not, African, but they want to order something from Africa, but they need to know what they are ordering, So
yeah. So I look at that in two ways. I think one of the things that I would potentially do, and I don't know how ethical this will be, is I would potentially download some of the images and then feed them back into AI and ask it to create different variations of this image, but not exactly the same. I would even say it like that. I would say, I would download the images. So imagine I've got 50 images on my platform now. I'd probably upload them to the AI tool, and then I would ask the InVision to describe the image, and then I would probably potentially say, can you recreate this image to AI slightly different? I don't know how that would look for your images, but it's something that potentially could be the case. It's a difficult one because I think your customers may want their exact image. So if it's the exact image, then you can't get away from copyright. If they're saying, I want the exact image, but if you could present them with a variation of that image, then they potentially may not have a problem with that. It's worth a play. Maybe give me a shout, and maybe we can probably have some sort of chat about how we can probably look into that for you, and where, what are the solutions that you can actually use.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, because I'm also looking to implement AI to our platform in a way, and I think you're mentioning is it the platform you're using? What is it called?
Yeah, so basically I'm working with some consultants. One of them is actually on the chat at the moment, from Lionx, and they
for your Lionx, yeah.
Yeah, they do have the ability to create your own in-house solutions. So with consultancy,
do they provide an API?
They could potentially provide APIs. No, but when you say API, what are you referring to? Your own API,
Okay.
a link to an API that you want to use?
What happened is I want to implement. I've been speaking to my team and see how we can do this. When you have just like what you've shown in the demo, like you ask you provide an images or messages and said provide this image, something like that. I want to implement that into our platform in a way that when we onboarding new restaurants and we ask them to provide an image, even if it's just an image that doesn't really look good, I want to make sure that when the image is being uploaded, by the time that we integrate that into our platform, it will provide a very high quality resolution images.
Upscale. So you're talking about upscaling. So where you get an image and the image is not great quality, or it may be, and you could upscale. So for example, there are API tools that we can probably implement that does upscale. So you get one image is not great condition, and then we use another API to upscale that image. So what you're describing, just for the sake of everybody else, is a solution where we integrate APIs and maybe AI into your platform, so you can upscale the images and get better quality than even what you got. Obviously, there is that terminology. Excuse my language. If you get crap in, you get crap out. But there are tools that potentially may be used with AI to upscale the image. But that can be something that we, have a discussion offline about.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Right. Any more? What else have we got?
I just wanted to see if you knew of any AI video editing software, or even like music creation software, because you play with the voices.
Tell me about music, mate. You'll have me going on one. So, right. Okay. So I'm gonna try and find something, right? Let me just see if I can find this. So essentially, AI is quite scary, especially when it comes to music, right? And I'm gonna share my screen in a second. I'm gonna this what I'm gonna show you now may not work that great, but I have actually been playing around with it, and I'm actually falling in love with this tool, right? Don't tell nobody else about this tool, please. Yeah, I say that now, right? Because you guys are lucky. Yeah. So imagine now, right? I can go to this tool here, which is called, can you see my screen, Tim? Yeah.
Yep.
With Fusion, right? I'm gonna go create. All right. Okay. So Tim, right? Just give me one little line, love lyric. Just give me a lyric, right?
Sure.
A quick sentence, just not long.
And after this, guys, we will have to close. So if you got any other questions, please get them in now. Just conscious of time. So a lyric can be anything, can it?
Yeah.
Say the moon, stars. That's what comes to my head right now.
The moon and the stars.
The moon and the stars.
You're not a great songwriter, are you? God,
No.
All right, so let's try R&B trap. Yeah, right. I don't know what this is going to create, because Tim's just give me some random the moon and stars. Can we say the moons and stars are bright, or just the moon and the stars? The moon and the stars.
Moon and stars.
Right, go on,
Let's
bro.
see what it comes up with.
I-
We're
Tim,
really putting it to we're really putting it to the test with that, aren't we?
I'm gonna be cheeky, Tim. Are you married?
Am I married? I'm not. No.
Yeah, okay, right. So the lyrics of Moon and Stars ain't gonna help you, right? Anyway, Tim said the moon and the stars. I said the moon and the stars. I said R&B trap. I don't know how this is gonna sound, but I just want to give you an idea of what's happening with AI.
Let's go for it.
The moon and stars. So that's what he gave me, right?
Wait, so I had to give you. Can't
Did you
hear the
hear that?
rest
Was
of
it?
it. No, it's
Don't
fading
forget, you
out.
only gave me the moon and the stars. You didn't give me nothing else.
Right. So you have to give it all the lyrics, do you? I thought it generates those lyrics as well once you give it something.
Right. So, say for
Oh, so you
example,
could write a song in ChatGDP and then get it to sing it, right?
now you got me. But it's the head. So the head. Let's say the heaven and the stars are bright. So I'm gonna change Tim's lyrics a bit. So the heaven and the stars are bright. Just give it a bit more flavor. I don't know how this is gonna sound, but I think it's more whatever. So to your point, yes, you can write songs in ChatGPT. I've tried it. It's okay. You know what I do writing, but I think it's not that great. I think you really need to know how to prompt to do proper songwriting. But let me just see if I can get this one. Let me see what it says. So it depends on my internet connection. Are you guys hearing the song? Do you hear that too?
It's very low. It starts off, but it gets a bit lower. Let's try it again.
Let me play it one more time. It might be my connection, but don't forget it's only 4 words. The heaven and the stars are bright. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. But guys, try it out for yourself. So to your point, to the lady that was asking, there is music tools that are doing whole songs. There are music tools that are just doing riffs and short songs. I've just started using this tool, and I know I made a joke about don't tell anybody, but I didn't actually want to tell nobody about this tool, right? Because this tool, I know what I can do with it. Yeah, from everything from just creating ideas, generating ideas, samples. You imagine now, these are all things that I can do. So the world's your oyster. Any more questions? Any more questions?
Just want to say thank you. It's been an amazing presentation and I learned a lot.
No worries, my pleasure. Thanks to Dawn and Tim for setting it up, because obviously without these guys and the corporation behind it, we wouldn't have, these kind of presentations for us to kind of get together as a group and share this knowledge. So definitely a pleasure, guys, for having me on.
Absolutely. We could say the same for you. Absolute pleasure to host you and have you and just share all of this information. So insightful. And as we can see from, many of the audience have said exactly the same as well. So this will and has been recorded and will be posted on the Black Economics TV YouTube channel. And yeah, once again, thank you for Chris for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us regarding AI. Be sure to connect with him. We have posted his information in the chat. For those of you that are not in our group, please join our WhatsApp chat as well. And I believe, yeah, that's everything for today. So thank you for the audience as well for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you again soon.